Imagine this. Every 2 years, 1 million Japanese vanish. By the close of this century, China's bustling population will be slashed in half. Meanwhile, Italy's average age is creeping up to 48. The world over, the sound of baby cries is becoming rarer. So, are we on the brink of a population crisis? Let's dive in. For eons, our numbers remained stagnant, with disease, hunger, and conflict keeping us in check. Then came the Industrial Revolution, and boom, our population skyrocketed from 6 billion in 1999 to a whopping 8 billion in just over 2 decades. And guess what? We're still on the rise. But here's the twist. We're not having as many babies as before. Ideally, each couple should be having 2 kids to keep things balanced. But in places like South Korea, known for its pop culture, the birth rate has plummeted to a mere 0.8 children per woman in 2022. If this trend continues in a century, the youth in South Korea could be a rare sight. Now you might think, surely there's a limit to this decline. Well, the jury's still out on that. While the overall number might not drop drastically, the age composition will. Picture this. By year 2100, South Korea could be a nation where the average age is 59, a nation of grandparents. And it's not just South Korea. China is on a similar trajectory with its one-child policy and preference for smaller families. Even Europe, with its steady influx of immigrants, isn't immune. And let's not forget the US, where immigration is the lifeline keeping the population afloat. But there's hope. Parts of the Middle East and Africa still have high birth rates. However, as these regions develop, their birth rates are also beginning to dip. So, why should we care? It's simple. A society needs its youth. They're the ones who drive the economy, innovate, and care for the elderly. Without them, we're looking at a future of skyrocketing healthcare costs, dwindling resources, and cities turning into ghost towns. Some argue that fewer people might be a blessing, given our environmental challenges. But here's the catch. Our population will keep growing for another 60 years before it might start to decline. By then, we need to have tackled climate change. A potential solution? Immigration? But it's not a one-size-fits-all answer. Immigrants over generations tend to adopt the birth rates of their new homes. In the end, while humanity isn't going extinct, we're at a crossroads. It's a challenge, but it's one we can tackle together. Let's take a moment to reflect on the bigger picture. Our world is interconnected, and these demographic shifts don't just affect individual countries, they ripple across continents, economies, and cultures. Consider the towns in East Germany or the serene countryside of Japan. Once bustling with life, many now stand silent, a testament to the rapid population decline. But it's not just about empty streets and silent playgrounds. It's about the very fabric of our societies being reshaped. Some might wonder, with fewer people, wouldn't resources be more abundant? Wouldn't life be more affordable? It's a tempting thought. But prosperity isn't just about having resources. It's about the ideas, innovation, and hard work that turn those resources into something meaningful. An aging population might also shift our political landscape. Governments might lean towards policies that cater primarily to the elderly, potentially sidelining the needs of the younger generation. This could stifle innovation and progress, making challenges like climate change even harder to tackle. Yet, it's not all doom and gloom. Challenges often bring opportunities. With the right strategies, nations can adapt. Investments in technology, education, and healthcare can help offset some of the impacts of an aging population. Moreover, fostering a culture that values both the wisdom of the elderly and the innovation of the youth can create a harmonious balance. In conclusion, our world is changing, and the population puzzle is a complex one. But with awareness, collaboration, and a touch of creativity, we can navigate these uncharted waters. After all, humanity has always been resilient, and this time won't be any different. Imagine a world where the scales are tipped, where developed nations keep poorer countries at a disadvantage, all to lure the young and ambitious. It's a morally gray area, isn't it? Fast forward to the end of this century, and Africa is set to be the youth capital of the world. Picture this. African migrants becoming the most coveted immigrants with nations rich in history but poor in youth, vying for every individual willing to cross borders. But migration isn't just about numbers. It's a melting pot of cultures, values, and beliefs. And when these worlds collide, tensions can rise. It's a delicate dance, and turning a blind eye to these tensions can lead to societal rifts and fuel xenophobia. Yet, there's a silver lining. Economically, welcoming immigrants can be a profitable step. But on the other hand, it wouldn't be the long-term solution. Take the U.S., for instance, a nation built on dreams, freedom, and the sweat of immigrants. Such countries stand to gain immensely, especially if they can draw in the brightest minds from around the globe. But let's zoom out a bit. The global decline in birth rates isn't just a statistic, it's a reflection of a world that's evolving. Women today have more freedom, education, and wealth. Societies are prospering, and with prosperity comes choice. Interestingly, while many desire larger families, the reality paints a different picture. The last century brought with it unprecedented freedoms, but not without its challenges. The age-old saying, "It takes a village to raise a child," seems lost in today's world. Modern parents grapple with stringent social obligations, juggling careers and family life, and women often find themselves torn between professional aspirations and motherhood. While men, despite being more hands-on fathers, still grapple with the age-old role of being the breadwinner. And amidst all this, the dream of a big family often takes a back seat. Our individualistic culture plays its part too. With a world to explore and dreams to chase, many are choosing to settle down later in life, often opting for smaller families or none at all. But here's the thing. No one owes their nation a next generation. And while nations grapple with declining birth rates, solutions remain elusive. However, there are glimmers of hope. Accessible childcare, financial incentives for parents, affordable housing, and a cultural shift towards family-friendly policies. So, the next time you're on a plane or a bus and there's a baby crying, remember, kids are a handful, but they're also our future. In the grand tapestry of human history, we've faced countless challenges. And while the changing demographics might seem daunting, it's just another puzzle to solve. After all, if there's one thing humanity excels at, it's adapting and thriving. All right, folks, that does it for today's video. If you find that you have gotten value from this video, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.